everyone, welcome back. It is time for another tier list. Welcome back, everyone. We have Putty Man and we have Campo.Reviews, the man who reviews movies, TV shows, wrestling. There were no wrestling reviews this week, but we will have more next week. If you tuned in yesterday, we had our State of Wrestling, so make sure you go back. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch that. There were a lot of good points on that one. But today we are doing a tier list. Today we are tier listing the Mortal Kombat games, riding on the hype of the announcement trailer that came early last week or late last week. Mortal Kombat 1, a complete reboot of the franchise, is coming out. It takes place after Mortal Kombat 11, but it works as a reboot. For those who don't know the story, Liu Kang now takes control and is Earth Realm's protector. He is ascended to an elder god, and this is going to continue that story. So we are tier listing the Mortal Kombat games, not particularly the good ones or the bad ones. So we're going to do them all. So without further ado, we are going right into the tier list. And there
tier
we
list
are.
land is how we refer to it.
Tier list land. I don't want to infringe on your brother's gimmick.
There is going to be some. I know there's going to be some colossal fights. I feel like there's going to be some that are going to be like.
No, there's not.
Okay,
if you don't have the same opinion, then you're an idiot.
Then you're wrong.
Oh no! We're not going to go there now.
We just went there.
All right.
Okay, so let's start the OG Mortal Kombat game.
Okay, listen.
So
it's not. Tell them it.
What's up?
Tell them the rankings.
Oh, Fatality is the best. That's what we should have done. That's what's missing. Toasty.
Yeah, you forgot to tell him, Steve, Dave.
Yeah.
And then trash should be
we'll change that.
To the pit.
The pit.
Yes.
Let's do that right now.
The pit, and then never played. I will say this: I played every single Mortal Kombat on here.
No, you know what? Never played should be the pit. No, the pit is the worst one.
No, never played. Yeah. Can we change friendship to Toasty?
Let's do that.
Yeah.
There we go. Done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Excellent.
Like okay. Yeah. So let's start. Let us go with the OG Mortal Kombat game. Backstory: when this game came out, it was a huge controversy. This was the first time anything this gory had ever been in a game. This game single-handedly pretty much created the ESRB rating system.
Mm-hmm. And nice of the people that made this list to pick the perfect version of the original MK game, the Sega Genesis version, the one that had the blood code. And of course, Super Nintendo, yeah, they maybe had more buttons. Don't worry, we get a controller later.
You didn't need more buttons to play Mortal Kombat. There was only 3 buttons.
We did, yeah. But that introduced the 6
Yeah, but at the time, Genesis did have the 6-button controller.
Yep. And so this right here, to me, is a finish him. Not a fatality, a finish him. That's how I feel.
Okay, here's my argument. I absolutely agree with Putty's stance on it, but I do think that being the first game, there's an argument that could be made for it to be in fatality.
I agree. I'm willing to do that because of its.
But let's put in. I think
finish him is a good spot for it.
Let's say finish him. I think
because there's some games that improve on this concept. So
like the next game, which is definitely a fatality.
Yes. Agreed.
100%. Mortal Kombat 2 was the bare minimum. And it's funny. I love Sub-Zero and Scorpion, but my gosh, Baraka was introduced, and it's one of the lowest tier characters. But my God, it was the coolest looking one.
Baraka's like one of the coolest characters of all time.
And he became my number one. I learned everything, and we sliced up. Like I learned everything, and I love that character. Oh, yeah. So
I like the acid pit in this one.
Yes.
Or the little trick where if you uppercut them on the spike ceiling, if you press down, the body will fall off.
Mm-hmm.
So this one also introduced Reptile, right?
Yes.
The second one, yes.
Well, no, the first one actually introduced Reptile. Remember?
Yeah,
Reptile wasn't the first one.
Yeah, but that doesn't count.
Well, you fight.
There was a secret fight.
Yeah. There's the Mortal Kombat 2 was the first time you can actually play as Reptile.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mortal Kombat 3 introduced a new rush system and introduced was it brutality? Is this the one that they introduced brutality in?
What, isn't this the one that introduced animality?
Yes.
Yes.
Because Mortal Kombat 2 just had the friendships and babalities.
So this is where it gets tricky too, because here's where things get tricky, because I'm looking on the board right now and I'm noticing that they're taking into consideration the different trilogy situations.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, that is actually a good thing, but the bad thing, because if we're thinking of those, this makes this so hard between these next 4 games in general, because
Yeah.
three basically did introduce us to a bunch of characters. But then when we got, this is where Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter were doing these weird things where they had these ultimate versions,
Yeah.
adding
Super
everything.
turbo,
Yes.
turbo
Hyper
super.
Max.
Yeah.
And Mortal Kombat was doing the same 3. So first off, I'm gonna say this: as far as Mortal Kombat 3, to me, I feel like it would be behind Mortal Kombat and finish him, and I'll explain why once we get to the other ones.
I think
I'm going with Toasty on this one.
Really?
Okay, I think I agree with Putty.
Yeah, on the finish him.
I think it should be in finish him. Mind you, should it end up somewhere at the bottom of finish him, I won't be upset.
I
Okay.
agree. Yep.
Because with Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, they just took Mortal Kombat 3 and improved upon it by adding like Ermac and who else did they added a few others.
Well, this is where again we're getting to the situation, because we get into Mortal Kombat trilogy, and then you know how they started adding things more. It's like basically you're just adding more to your buck. You're gonna want the last one because it's gonna have everything. You know what I mean?
I think that this version of it should be ahead of Mortal Kombat 1.
Okay.
Okay,
All
now
right.
tell me why. Now tell me why, but compared to that in trilogy,
Because
trilogy
it's-
you had the PlayStation controller and you had much more. You know what I mean? So like, what would be your thing to it?
It also looked like straight up doo-doo.
Yeah, it
Oh,
didn't
you're
look very
right.
good. Yeah.
That's true. It felt smooth. Oh, yeah, you're
But
right.
listen,
That
just
was
not
true.
to say trilogy's not going to be there too.
Yeah.
It's just
yeah, good point. See, that's
I think
this is the part that's hard when it comes to Mortal Kombat.
But
I
the
think
thing too with trilogy, going back on trilogy though, there were 2 different versions of Chameleon in this game.
Mhm.
In the PlayStation, you had the female Chameleon, and I think in the Nintendo 64 version, you had the male version of Chameleon.
Exactly, and I like the female. I'll be honest with
course
you,
you
but that
did.
was yeah, of course I did.
So okay, let's before we even rank these, which trilogy version is better?
See,
The
here's my
one
thing
that's
for
not
me.
here, the Sega Dreamcast version,
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that one.
because that had
Dude.
both.
Dude, okay, well that was a weird sense and everything, because that controller was not fun with that game. To be
No,
honest with you,
no.
that
in
controller was
these
horrible with
two,
that
let's
game.
just we're talking about only these
Okay.
two.
I'm gonna. Here's my thing. I'm still gonna give it up for the PlayStation one, but I will say this, because of Mortal Kombat, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, I will agree on that. I'm okay with. It's weird. It's a weird space for me, so I say this maybe behind Mortal Kombat 3 or right in the top of Toasty. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know.
I'm good with this at the top of Toasty.
Yeah,
What about the N64 version?
the pit.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. The
Yep.
N64, as great of a console as it was, could not handle it.
I couldn't handle fighting games in general. It was really bad except for Smash. It literally was made for Smash. Everything else was just horrible and they're doo-doo.
Yeah,
I remember I
at
played a
least,
lot of fighting
the
games.
two
there.
different versions of Mortal Kombat 3. The Ultimate is at least everything all in.
Yeah,
And I do think it's an improvement on the original Mortal Kombat, where
yeah.
the two trilogies, they're not an improvement on anything.
no,
really.
they're not.
The pit.
They are not. The pit.
The pit.
This one goes
The
into the
pit.
pit as well. The
No,
bottom
come
of the
on.
The pit. Okay, I beat that game. I beat that game. But the control scheme on that was the stupidest, mundane idea. Who thought the idea of making a platformer game with the mechanics of Mortal fucking Kombat? The jumping in Mortal Kombat is the worst thing ever. And then think, oh yeah, let's make that into a fucking platformer. It's like making Pac-Man into a first-person shooter
sequences with the bad acting on the green screen.
I
I look like I'm watching an episode of Lex.
I take offense to what Putty just said, because Miss Pac-Man in the 3D world on PlayStation is really good. Okay,
yeah, but I'm talking about the first-person shooter. But no, anyway, okay. But I will say this though: I get the full motion ability bad, but I actually was really into it. I love seeing them live action, even though I've seen the movies like Quan Chi, characters like that. You know what I mean? So I like that. I'll admit it.
The concept was good. The way it was executed was pretty bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, Campo, make you happy. Can we put it ahead of Mortal Kombat Trilogy then?
No.
Keep it where it is?
Yeah.
Absolute dog doo-doo. All right.
It literally is probably the...
this is a no, because this one's pretty bad too. Mortal Kombat 4.
No, here's the thing.
They tried to go into
3D.
Full 3D with this.
Here's the thing. This is what the point of where they were trying to get the mechanics right, and we do get later things that are definitely better than this. I feel like this was basically trying to be the Mortal Kombat, like it was trying to show that we can do 3D, and it did a bad job. But I appreciate it for where it ends up being later on with later games like Deception and all that. And but even though those aren't still, we'll get to that later anyway. Yeah, bad. Go ahead, Pit. I don't care.
It's the top of the pit, though.
The top of the
All right,
pit.
I'm down for
All
that.
right.
Yeah, I'm done with
That N64 game, man, is real bad.
It is. It's a different kind of bad.
You can't even like play it because you can't see anything because the graphics are so terrible.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. But that's the thing too. It also couldn't handle such a high frame rate either. Like Nintendo 64, unless it was like a game specific for Nintendo 64 in terms of like Mario 64 or Star Fox, that's different. But when you're trying to do a full-on 3D game like that, it couldn't handle it.
The fact that Nintendo, since the N64 era, has constantly been resistant to everything, and any company that makes a game for them has to be a complete port because they don't. The PCs and the Xbox and the PlayStation can play almost the same game, but then you need a special port for Nintendo.
Yeah,
Because they
You
just
do.
want to use little information discs that have 1 gig.
That's the reason why I don't believe Mortal Kombat 1 will ever make it on the Switch.
Maybe a tier list for this is coming soon too, but I just picked up Tears of the Kingdom. That game is huge. It took up half of my 256 gig disc on my Switch.
Oh, of course it did. Of course.
But it's I'm having a lot of fun with that game. But that's a story for another day.
Hashtag Diablo 4.
Diablo 4. Exactly. We've been waiting for that one. Okay, so next we have Mortal Kombat Gold.
I actually like this game. I would actually put it above Mortal Kombat 3.
This is basically Mortal Kombat 4 for Sega Dreamcast, but executed a little bit better.
Yeah, and I actually liked it.
I would say ahead of Trilogy.
On Toasty?
Yeah.
I could do that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that too. Because this was
it's fine. It was
an improvement
Toasty's
of
not
this.
a bad category.
No.
It's Toasty.
It's playable, right? It's totally playable. Next we have Mortal Kombat Special Forces for the PlayStation.
Hey, come on.
This was another 3D spin-off of like Jax pursuing his search of Kano, and it was another one of those.
Hit that shit.
This game is better than Sub-Zero.
Yes.
I agree. I agree
only
with that,
slightly.
but still pit the shit. Just pit the shit.
But only slightly.
Wait, okay, I'm gonna say this right now. If we're gonna do this with Game Boy Advance, where are the other games that were for the old handhelds? I'm gonna say that right now. That's kind of blasphemy.
You want the Atari Lynx version?
Because this was the only one that wasn't a port. I think this one was its only.
This is its own game.
Yeah.
This was its own game, and I've actually never played this one.
I never freaking the worst game of all time.
I kind of believe it.
I'll agree with you then. Let's just leave it there. Next we got Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. This is the game where Quan Chi and Shang Tsung. This started the storytelling Mortal Kombat, as opposed to just like, this is the fight, this is this. No, you actually have to progress a story, and then you start the fight. Kind of like the way they do it now.
It's better than the Pit.
And this is also when we started getting things like the Crypt and everything, like really fun side things that were really, really fun about Mortal Kombat. And see, here's the thing. Mortal Kombat does get some bad when it comes to like fighting games compared to other fighting games. But when it came to like substance to the characters and just the whole thing, they started saying, oh, we're going to give you, because we know you like a lot of stuff because of like all the Ultimate games and everything. So that made that fun too, in my eyes, you know? So, for me, I would put this behind Mortal Kombat 3. I actually like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm good with that. Campo?
I don't know. I feel like that's kind of high.
Really? That's better than Gold.
Do you both agree on that? Because I would say Toasty, and that's not that far off.
I'm okay with top of Toasty.
Yeah,
but do you guys think it's in Finish Him?
Well,
I mean, it was a good. It introduced a lot of new mechanics, and for that, I think it needs to be up there. But I'm good with that. There,
definitely not in the pit. It's not at the bottom.
No, absolutely not.
But see, the thing is, later on, I feel like we're gonna get a lot more games are gonna get to fill out that spot. I feel like it does need to be in Toasty, to be honest with you, or at least how I feel.
Well, we can always go back and
readjust.
That's what. Next, we have Mortal Kombat Deception, which basically is a direct sequel of Deadly Alliance.
This game is pretty good.
Yep.
Yes. I like the huge story, the whole open world. There's a day and night cycle. There were random chests that would appear depending on
where
what
did
time.
we put Deadly Alliance?
We just put it here at the top of Toasty.
Toasty, yeah.
I'm losing it. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
okay.
This game's better than Deadly Alliance.
I think so.
Yeah, I agree. What made this one good is you had a story of a character that was brand new that actually
A brand new character, yeah.
And it made you part of it, like you were maybe developing this character and giving him his own powers and special abilities, and it was just a cool aspect because you got to be part of that world, and we were waiting for something like that because, I mean, you know, you need to grow with.
And we've gotten so many, and this one had so many characters that we still haven't seen in a long time. Like we haven't seen Havoc in a long time. We haven't seen Hero. We haven't seen Cobra.
Bo Raichu wasn't in that one. Yeah, we haven't seen him in a while.
So you know that
doesn't Bo Raichu end up being in the other fighting game?
He gets killed in one of the more recent ones.
But doesn't he end up being in...
I think he's in 11.
What's that big fighting game that was on Xbox?
Killer Instinct?
Killer Instinct.
No, not Killer Instinct.
That's not...
Oh my god. Name fighting games, quickly.
Tekken. Killer Instinct. That's all.
Oh my god. Okay, I'll look for it. You guys continue.
But here's an interesting fact: the name Bo Raichu. He's supposed to be a drunken master expert, and the name Bo Raichu, if you say it really fast, it's like the Spanish version Borracho. Borracho is a drunkard in Spanish.
Oh, okay. I never knew that. That's cool. Okay.
Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur.
Isn't he in Soul Calibur? Isn't he one of the Soul Calibur characters?
No. So I think
you're thinking of Voltar. You're thinking of the guy that the creepy looking thing that's like that like kind of like crawls in its backwards and everything. You're probably thinking of that.
Maybe I am.
I know there was once they did Ezio was exclusive to the Xbox, I think. And I know they did with Soul Calibur 4 was Yoda was on the Xbox, Darth Vader was on the PlayStation, and Link was on the GameCube version.
Oh no. The Link thing was with Spawn. Remember, the Link thing was actually with Spawn, and Hayachi when they had PlayStation got Hayachi, Spawn got Xbox, and then Nintendo got Link, and then later the Star Wars thing because they never put they didn't it didn't go PlayStation, so they just did Darth Vader on one and then Yoda on another.
On the other, yeah.
I literally still have both copies of both individual ones because I had to keep it because it has Yoda on one and Darth Vader on the other. I had to keep both.
You had to, yeah. Okay, so next we move into the completion of this trilogy, which was Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. Basically follows the story of Liu Kang and Kung Lao.
This game does not get credit. This was when finally I feel like Mortal Kombat actually learned how to actually make
a story game.
A story game, but like actually have good fight. The way this worked was it was more like Final Fight, where it's like on the sideways and you can actually see it. It's such a great game, and it doesn't get the love. And
this is Infinition for sure.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm willing to put this ahead of Mortal Kombat 3.
I was just going to say that.
100%.
Okay, good.
You know what? Hold on. I think it's better than the original Mortal Kombat.
No, I can't. Mortal Kombat, because this is the original game, I don't feel it does. It's that great of a game.
Because the original is always the original, right? Like I
can't.
It's still in a good spot.
Yeah, 100%.
It's still in a good spot. Next, we have Mortal Kombat Armageddon, which basically turns the entire thing on its head. Basically, it's all the characters you could ever want in Mortal Kombat in this game.
Meat.
Exactly.
See, I'm telling you, this is when you know your Mortal Kombat stuff is when you can name the most random character out of that whole bunch.
What I liked about this game, which they never brought back since until 11, when you could do the customization, is create your own character.
Yes, and this is because this is the branched off. Remember, this branched off the other game and was trying to do that whole story-driven thing, but this one was a little different. It wasn't like a map. I can't remember exactly how it looked. It was a little bit different. But you got to make your own character.
They would call it is conquest mode is what it was called.
That's what it was. Yep.
So I can't allow this to be higher than the pit.
Really?
It's like the number one in the pit, but it's.
I would be okay with bottom of Toasty.
Okay, fine. Bottom of Toasty, fine.
All right. Next we have another spin-off. This was Mortal Kombat versus the DC Universe.
Listen, I'm gonna say this right now. I want to say put this up right now.
This is the freaking pit.
It's going in the pit. I agree. 100%.
Yeah, this was a bad game. How do you do a Mortal Kombat game without fatalities?
But I will say this. I do want it on the top of the pit only because we did have one thing that the other countries, I think, I can't remember exactly what it was, is the Joker fatality thing. They had to cut it off screen, but apparently you actually see it elsewhere. Here's my thing. This was a stupid game, but I liked the idea, and I really want to at least give it high pit because I liked the
Fine,
it
high
was
pit.
exciting.
We'll give a high pit.
I appreciate that.
All right. All right. So next we have the soft reboot of the franchise, Mortal Kombat. They just called it Mortal Kombat, but
Yep.
it was It was the new Mortal Kombat.
So this is where I tap out. I have not played any Mortal Kombats past this.
So
Okay.
this is when NetherRealm Games took over. And
Yes.
Here's the thing. A lot of people gave them slack. This game right here, I feel, showed me in my eyes that NetherRealm Games, or that Mortal Kombat was in good hands. Is it the best out of the 3 that are coming up? No. But I do like that they really were open to new concepts and bringing in. This is when we got the first crossover character. We got freaking Freddy Krueger. And yeah, it wasn't the Freddy Krueger one, the Robert Englund one, but it was still cool just to have that idea of having Freddy Krueger. But then,
and wasn't Kratos in the PlayStation exclusive?
Yes, and I actually had that too. And that's the other thing I wanted to bring up. And then, of course, the roster, the story was a reboot, but it was a good reboot. It was actually a good story.
It kind of retold the story of Mortal Kombat 1 if things were different.
Exactly.
So basically what happened in this one was, instead of Smoke getting captured, it's Sub-Zero that gets captured and he gets turned into the Cyber Ninja instead. So you get Cyber Sub-Zero.
And see, what made this story great is what it did is it basically said, we're going to take the first 3 Mortal Kombats you love, and we're going to give you that full story. Because this one leads into the next game, because what happens is in the end of this one, they are older, getting everything, and then it'll go into the next one.
I think this takes the place of Mortal Kombat 1 and 2, right?
No, 1, 2, and 3.
Was it 1, 2, and 3? That's right. Stryker was in it too, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the trilogy. This is basically one game. That's why I just called Mortal Kombat, because they did the trilogy. Because the reason they did this is because the next game that's leading in, they wanted to start introducing new characters. Which
is this where we get? This is where we get Human Scorpion too, before he's dead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I think this I want to kind of put it right here.
Like,
Campbell, you've never played it, right? You haven't played anything since. So I think if Putty's in agreement, I like it there.
Yeah. Here's my thing.
Yeah.
Here's his thing.
Go for it.
Here's my thing. I'm sorry to take over. I am getting pretty excited about this, but the reason that's high is because this next game introduced us to new characters and new designs that a lot of people don't give it justice for what it's doing and evolving the story and growing it. And we started getting a lot more crossovers. Now, it's weird when you first think about it, but now it's like you love it because you.
This is a thing, and I'll allow you to have sexual feelings for the crossovers, but it does not improve the game in any way.
No, it's basically more of the same.
It's just having all these new characters added just allows you to basically have skins. And when we get to how gougy they've been and robbing people for all of their money to get the skins, I think that's got to be kind of a negative.
Because this introduced the combat packs. It introduced so many side DLCs. Then a year later, after you've spent all the money, here's Mortal Kombat XL, which just has everything already.
And I think if you're going to factor into the additions of the new characters as a positive, you have to also have it as a negative.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna.
But I mean, the characters that they do introduce are really good. You got Jason, you got the Predator, you got the Alien, you got Boraicho, you got Leatherface, you got all these horror
icons fighting against each other in one ring of like something where they bloody gore. Here's my thing. The story does start going off the rails in this one, okay? But at the same time, the rails isn't as bad as it goes in 11. When it comes to story-wise, it
still has somewhat of a cohesive story. It's kind of continuing the story of the last one.
Yeah, let's be honest, both of these have to be somewhere at the top because they're probably the 2 most popular Mortal Kombat games.
Well, here's my thing. That's the reason why I want to say this right now. NetherRealm, even though people are like, I love my old games, you have to understand one thing. Mortal Kombat had to grow and have a story, and the NetherRealm has only been the one in my eyes that does a good story when it comes to Mortal Kombat. So them continuing the reins and resetting it the way they did based off 11 was an amazing idea. You know what I mean? Now we have the same game, but with a little bit of a slight switch with Raiden and Liu Kang.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is what we're going to see. We're going to see Raiden being this young guy that's learning, and it's going to be such a different type of atmosphere. Like, am I wrong? And doesn't that feel like what we're going with?
You're
This
wrong.
storyline? I mean, I don't know. But my point is these two games, I would just this one XL and everything, XL, however you want to call it.
Yeah, let's call it the complete version, because I was the person that bought Mortal Kombat X, but I never bought any of the DLC.
I bought all
and
of
when
it.
XL came out, I thought, okay, what they gave you the option for was an extra $15 and you have everything, as opposed to nickeling and diming all the other pieces here and there.
I agree, because here's my thing. They've announced the prices too of all of the versions that you're going to get for the new game that's coming out, one, and they have like a collector statue, and I'm like, oh, I want it. And then I saw the price. They want $250 for that sucker. And I'm like,
it's
are you
$329 Canadian.
I want it so badly because it's been a while since I've had anything like that, because I love the collector's edition stuff, but I'm like, I don't know if I could pay that. I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to miss out on that. But
so where would we put this then, buddy?
that one for me, I actually put it behind all. Actually, that's good. Holy crap.
Okay,
I was
that's
gonna
where I
put
was
behind
thinking
Mortal
too.
Kombat 3, but yeah, I'm done with that. Yeah.
But I mean, because visually they look fantastic, these games.
Yeah.
Like, if we're going on just looks alone, yeah. But next we have more nickeling and diming. The game was good. The story was good. It improved on the story of 10. They introduced a character, was it called Chronica?
Veronica is the one that basically that she can shift time in the middle of battle too, and she could take you to any moment. It's one of those characters you really don't get to play with, because when you play with her, she actually alters the level. Well, it's not just that, she can alter the level into time, and it's her power to control things. It's like, it's the coolest thing they've ever done. Like, the boss battle is pretty fun in my eyes. I really like fighting her. So yeah, I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, no, it was really good. So this game introduced, so in the last game we can do our own Predator versus Alien. This game we were able to do RoboCop versus the Terminator.
Yep.
With a little bit of Rambo thrown in there too.
Yes, which works in my eyes. I don't know why it works, but it works.
The only thing though was the fact that Melina was a DLC character when she should be a main character.
Well, I mean, that's happened a lot, because the thing is, we had characters from other games, and the last ones, that was the worst thing they did, I will say, is in the storylines, they would let you fight against like Baraka. I think it was in 10, but then he wasn't a playable character. And I'm like, what the hell? He literally has moves and everything, but I can't play with him. Like, it was this weird thing they were doing. Like, I don't know. So that's kind of what I feel was this situation.
And the thing too was also that what changed this was the cosmetics. So you can alter. They took aspects of. I mean, we could have thrown in, but we could have thrown the 2 Injustice games in here too, because that's kind of part of that nether realm.
Yeah.
But Injustice 2 had that. What I really enjoyed about that game, other than the fact that,
the arm
like,
systems and everything.
Yeah, the arm, like, you can customize your character to make like Batman look the way you want to look. You can do your own Red Sun Superman. You can do, like, Batman Gaslight, it's Gotham by Gaslight Batman. You can do all different kinds of, you can do OG Aquaman, or you can do like long-haired Aquaman, right? Like,
and they even had it to where I remember when the freaking and they did this for this Mortal Kombat game too, by the way. But they actually released skins of the Justice League, the actual movie versions of their outfits. So you can unlock them, but you had to go through all the trials to unlock them, which were pretty hard. But I was like, I got to get them all. You know what I mean? So they were very inventive in that. And I feel like Mortal Kombat 11 was trying to go in that way, especially when they had the characters from the original movie as skins. So you actually get the original Robin Shu and all them that played in the original. Of course, what's his name was a DLC character in here, the one that was in the original Mortal Kombat movie that played Shang Tsung. I can't think of his name right now.
Which one?
But he played Shang Tsung in the first Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah, he's this. You can get that Shang Tsung skin as a pre-order bonus. There was the actress Veronica Vaughn there from Billy Madison. She was you can get the Sonya skin. Was this the one also where Ronda Rousey was Sonya?
Wait,
or was it X?
No, X is the one where she. No, you're talking about. She wasn't. She was. Wasn't she? Oh yeah.
No, one of these movies, Sonya was based off of Ronda Rousey. I think it was 11.
Oh, was it? Oh, I had no idea about that. That's news to me. Oh, sweet. Yeah. So okay. So as far as where this goes for me, here's the thing. I actually like this story better than 10's, but I feel like it just basically carries on what 10 as far as gameplay wise. So I
I
don't know.
would
What do you
say
think?
I'd say it's roughly in about the same. It was a better game, but not like, I mean, what you could do, and the story was slightly better. I kind of want to put it there. Like it's a like it's a mid finish him.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Yeah.
Okay, so
I
I
agree.
guess we've played them all except those three. Campo, you've never played. So
And I never will.
I mean,
It's so
so can we agree Mortal Kombat 2 is the only one that deserves to be there?
I mean,
The greatest
I mean,
Mortal Kombat game. We can decisively say that Mortal Kombat 2 is the greatest Mortal Kombat game of all time.
oh yeah, I can agree. I'm willing to move Ultimate 3 and Combat up to give them though, because the thing is, it is a trilogy in my eyes, and that would be the trilogy, and then put in that order 2, 3, then 1. But that's up to you guys.
It
That's
would be
just because I
like
love
putting
Mortal Kombat.
Empire, Jedi, and A New Hope.
Exactly.
Well, hold on. I think in the realm of tier lists, we get a little frivolous, and I do think there should only be one top.
Really, I'm okay with that.
I kind of like that though. Yeah, I kind of
Okay.
agree with you
'Cause
there.
you have to understand, no matter what, it's kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog 2. For some reason, there was this element back when I was younger in the early 90s where twos were the best. Every game that was 2. Ninja Turtles 2 was the arcade version, better too. The Mortal Kombat 2, better too. Freaking
Street
Sonic the
Fighter
Hedgehog 2, Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
The
The thing is,
twos were
too, Mortal
crowns.
Kombat 2 had such a short development cycle, but the way it looked was leaps and bounds above the first one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the third one almost looked like the second one.
Yeah.
Yep, just a lot more stuff. Just we have it's what
Yeah.
you liked about Mortal Kombat 2, but everything thrown
More
at
of
the
it.
wall. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. So I guess we didn't need that last list. We've played them all. So with that out of the way, thanks for joining us, guys. If you want more wrestling reviews, tune in next week. There's a whole bunch of them coming. Campo and I, we got a whole bunch of stuff we need to watch. So we're going to go through that this week. New Japan Cup is going, or is it? No, Best of Super Juniors is going on right now. So we're in the middle of what Campo and I, yes, that is a drum, and no, we cannot touch it.
Exactly.
If you guys want to know about that reference, go watch that in the coming weeks. We got our Best of Super Juniors review coming up. So with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. And like I said, if you haven't already, please subscribe. If you like this content and you want to see more of it, let us know. You know, Campo just had his story reposted on Instagram by Julia.
By Julia.
Like,
shut up.
Okay. Hey.
Yeah.
My Noah review got a shout out by Ninja Max. So
hey, we'll talk about that in the next video.
So
yesterday's video.
So go watch yesterday. So with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you all next time. Goodbye and good night.
Fatality.